It had been quite a while since Gordon's fateful accident. Fateful? Oh, I'm sorry, I mean disastrous. He had been sent into the steamworks in a... Oh, yes. Oh, that diesel, when will he ever learn? James was in quite a huff. Well, of course he was in a huff. Well, who else would have wanted to pull the express? But he never got the chance to. Only Henry was allowed to pull it. Oh, and Emily, sometimes. Oh, and not to mention Boko. So you might see that James never got to pull the express, but he had a way of trying to pull it. So he decided to be on his best behavior, being happy all day. So he whistled hello at every engine he met. And he didn't stop abruptly at stations or like screeching to a halt like he usually did. You know, just normally stopping. James kept behaving like this, and then the other engine started to think he was behaving weirdly. Even the passengers thought so. Unfortunately, all of his efforts wouldn't be noticed at all. The next evening, Thomas, Henry, Edward, Emily, Toby, and James were all waiting for Sir Topham Hatt when he rolled up in a very bangy Winston. Well, I'm all glad to see you here today, he said. Well, Gordon has been sent to the works and the rest of you are all busy, so I'd like you all to introduce you to Rebecca. Rebecca skidded to a stop just an inch from Thomas's buffers. Hello, Rebecca, said Edward. How are you enjoying our railway so far? Well, replied Rebecca. Well, I'm very glad to be here, and everyone is so nice to me. I mean, I can't believe I came to a railway as good as this. I'm very glad that Rebecca has decided to give all her postal duties back to Percy, and she'll be our new express engine. James was not happy at all. Whenever he saw Rebecca, he would bang the coaches hard. Of course he wasn't happy that he wasn't pulling the express. Now he just behaved like a baby who had some candy taken away from him. He banged the trucks hard and even threw one down a mine. But that's a whole other story. The next few days were traumatic for James. Well, after a while he started watching Rebecca suspiciously. Every time she pulled out of a station or the yard, her brakes would start spinning continuously. and they screeched and screeched and screeched, even the passengers shrieked. And by then, Rebecca would be puffing away as quickly as she could before anyone could say anything. Of course, I didn't like James smiled to himself. Everyone always makes me up for Gordon. He would make Rebecca so embarrassed she would want to leave. The next morning, Rebecca woke up, and then Boko came along. Rebecca, Donald, can you both help me take a few goods trains down to Brendam Docks? That would really help. Rebecca agreed with Donald that she would take the first load. And then she soon was steamed up. She backed onto a train which was full of oil drums, packages, and paint pots. She was about to leave when something happened. As usual, she started leaving, but then a wheel started spinning furiously and sparks flew out everywhere. Then the sparks hit the oil drums and they caught fire. The fire caught a plank of wood and some more oil drums. It toppled onto a package which flew up into the air and it landed straight on a truck with wood. It hit the wood and the fire spread onto the truck, which burnt away. Luckily it wasn't sentient, but the other trucks screamed in horror, "Help! Help us!" James was coming from the other direction. He was still in a huff from what was going on. But then he approached the yard and he saw the flames. "By God, what is going on here?" he cried. Rebecca and the trucks were still trapped, so James had to save them. In a moment of hesitation, he biffed the truck. He was soon coupled on, and he started to pull them away. Rebecca quickly followed suit, but by then, the fire was reaching a train with a tar tanker and a van full of explosives. James was quick to react, and he was soon coupled on. But the flames were reaching his tender, and it burnt. "Ow! Ow! 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 Ow!" he screamed as he pulled the train away. But by then, it was too late. It exploded, and James flew off the rails and landed on the turntable. His tender hit some wagons nearby. The fire brigade was called, and Flynn and Bell came to deal with the fire. The carnage could be seen from all over the place as the fire was put out. Tracks were ripped up, the trucks and wagons were all over the place. And surveying the damage was Sir Topham Hatt, who almost fainted at the sight. Never before he had experienced such a disaster as this. But he quickly rushed to see James being put on flatbeds. He sighed. What was he going to do at a time like this? "I'm sorry, Rebecca," sighed James. "I didn't mean it to happen like this." "Oh, what were you sorry about, James?" asked Rebecca. "It's all my fault this happened." "No," replied James, "but it's actually something else." Sir Topham Hatt let Edward and Henry depart, as James had to be repaired and Rebecca's wheels had to be checked. What was he going to do now? No express engine, 3 engines lost.